Good afternoon, everyone. My name is John Hazelip. I'm with the Central Office's Surveying and Mapping Office, and I'm here to talk to you about existing subsurface quality levels. Of course, subsurface quality levels are not new. The Utility Accommodation Manual has defined subsurface quality levels in the past, and it's my understanding eventually it will be taken out of the UAM, or it's already being done now, and moved over to the ASCE design standards. What I want to talk to you about is existing quality levels as located by the surveyors in the field. Of course, level D is the lowest level. Even when, as it reads, even when information for the utility in a particular area is accurate, there are often underground systems that are just not shown on any records. So level D may be appropriate for early use. Level C is more from documents. Level B is for locates. And level A is the highest level for what we know as designates in surveying. Most of the time what you will see is level B coming across from the surveyors. However, there are cases where level A will apply when there are vacuum extraction, or the utility itself is uncovered, and you'll be able to the surveyor will be able to assign a quality level if it is exposed, if the utility is exposed. So as I said, the definitions of the levels have traditionally been in the Utility Accommodation Manual. However, it's my understanding that it is being removed from the UAM and being defined in the American Society of Engineers ASCE library under the CI/ASCE 3802. If you go to that website, you'll see that the standards guidelines for the collection and depiction of existing subsurface utilities and utility data has been defined. Reading down, it says the standard addresses such as how utility information can be obtained, what technologies are available to obtain the information, and how that information can be conveyed to the information users. They're all defined here. Who should be responsible for typical collection and depiction tasks, what factors determine which utility quality level attribute to assign to data, and in the end, what relative cost and benefits of the various quality levels are. So what is different is that the surveyors now they don't have the option of locating existing subsurface utility levels under the old line types and levels. They have been retained for legacy purposes, but it will not be an option for them to locate them that way in any new surveys. So you should receive existing utility levels. All should have a quality level assigned to them. Moving on, what is new is that they have now been defined in the standard index. So if you look at the FDOT design standards and go to their website and go to the most requested and look at design standards, and under the design standards e-booklet, move on to standard symbols under abbreviations and symbols. Pick the 002, and you'll end up with the standard index and the standard symbols for plan sheets. If you move to sheet 2 at the top, on the top right, you'll see utility adjustment symbols for existing utilities. Zooming in on that, you'll see that we've added some point symbols. Now the A, B, C, and D symbols, these will be very rare. You may not ever see these in a survey, an existing survey delivery, because the point of these A, B, C, and D symbols are for the surveyor to locate, depending on what they think it may be, and then reconciling these quality levels at a later time. The EOI, end of electronic information, is to show when there is no more information designated by the utility provider or the utility company that comes out and designates or paints the ground, paints the line. The test hole symbol is for when we actually expose, whether it's through vacuum extraction or whatever, the utility is actually exposed and we can see it and get an XYZ on the level. And then we've also added a quality level delineator for the purpose of showing a change in the quality level. If you move on to sheet 3 of the standard symbols for plan sheets, this is where you're going to see a lot of new stuff. And what you see is existing utilities as you have known them before, but with a, in parentheses, an A, B, C, D behind them. If I zoom up on the upper left, you'll see this is a buried telephone, A, B, C, and D quality levels, buried telephone ducts, and buried cable television, and so on. The one thing I have to tell you about this is that after a further review, the utility engineers have decided that the level A should be removed from the standard index, so therefore I think in the works is a revision to remove the A level. And the reason for this is that it is going to be extremely rare, if not at all, that the A level will ever be shown. The only time it would possibly be shown would be across a bridge, or if a utility is exposed in the entire length. And typically in our types of road projects, we don't see that. So the A will be removed. What you will see in the index from here on will be a B, C, and D, however, and those line styles are going to come into effect. And as I said, the surveyors will not have the option of locating the utility without assigning a quality level. The legacy levels are there, the legacy line styles are there, but on any new existing or project, the existing utilities will be assigned B, C, and D, or we'll have a test hole A, and then you'll have delineators and end of information symbols. What you see here is a possible example sheet of what you may receive from the surveyor, showing existing utility levels. You can see in the upper left there's some EOI symbols at the end of the buried TV lines and the water line. And on the right, if I zoom up on the upper right, you'll see the water line B. As it changes to water line C, the delineator symbol was placed. Just below that, on the buried fiber optic, you see a test hole symbol where it was exposed, so therefore we know exactly the XYZ position of this test hole. However, in between the two test holes, there's another one on the right. We still designate this as B because we don't know exactly. It could meander, and the electronic designations are only a close approximation. They could be as much as 3 feet off left or right, and the depth is also subject to it depends on the type of designator. It can depend on soils, whether radar tomography has been used, and so no matter what, we just don't feel comfortable of putting an A on this line in any case, so they will stay a B. That's why the A symbol was going to be removed from the standard index. Down below, you also see another case where a water line has changed, and there's a delineator symbol at the point where the quality level B goes to quality level C. I also have on the lower right an example of where you see end of information. So the line stops, and then again between the buried telephone B, a delineator symbol between the buried telephone. So this is what's new. You need to be aware of it. What we feel is that by adding this to existing utilities, we can start moving forward to moving this into the GIS platform and giving quality levels for existing utilities in a GIS format. And that's pretty much my presentation. Any questions? What do we have here? On your first, can you put that up there?
Mm-hmm.
It says on your first slide, you said designating was level B, but you list at the most intricate level A in the paragraph below. This is not consistent with the paragraphs. What I can say about that is that that those kind of, what do you want to say? Yeah, actually, this is the kind of question I would defer to your utility engineer, and we're going to go back to them on that. How would levels be updated if more info received during design coordination? That will be on the design, the utility engineer or whoever's working on utilities. The surveyors are going to do what they can. They generally will not know. Most of the time, it will be level B, what you'll see coming out of from the survey. However, if anything changes during the accommodation process, that's going to be on the utility engineer to make those changes.
Okay.
All right?
Thank you so much, John.
All right, thank you.